Uploaded on July 29, 2024, this encounter once again came from the YouTube channel Jordan and Liz, who had already appeared earlier for another intense outdoor moment. On this occasion, their van life trip led them into Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, where a simple hiking day quickly turned into something far more frightening. The day began quietly with the couple waking early and getting ready to take on 3 scenic hikes. Although the morning air was cold, the skies were clear, and the conditions seemed perfect for exploring. Instead of using the crowded boat shuttle, they chose the 5-mile round trip on foot. The surroundings showed the classic beauty of Wyoming: towering peaks, dense forests, and still mountain lakes. Yet what began as a peaceful outing soon became one of the most unsettling wildlife encounters of their lives. While on the trail, the pair came across a woman rushing toward them in clear distress. She urged them to turn back quickly, warning of a bear directly behind her.
Go! Go, bear! Show!
Hey, bear!
Go, bear!
Oh my God, it's coming.
Go!
You have the spray?
Go, bear! Go! Hey! Go! I'm sitting right here. Go! It's moving that way. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
But I was walking right towards, like, that's so scary.
So how close did he get to you?
He was literally like where he's standing right there and walking towards us, and he wouldn't stop walking.
The couple had bear spray, but the woman carried no protection at all. Jordan stepped forward with the spray ready, while Liz searched through her pack for a whistle. Moving cautiously along the narrow path, they began making noise to alert the animal. Despite their efforts, the bear kept approaching, calm, steady, and unwilling to change direction. The tension peaked when the animal closed the distance to only a few feet from Jordan. Liz, caught between filming and preparing the whistle, missed capturing the closest moment, but managed to record enough to show just how near the bear had come. Only after a sharp whistle blast and Jordan holding his ground did the animal finally veer away, climbing into a tree and allowing the group to pass safely. Though no one was injured, the weight of the experience was clear.
So I'm the worst camera person ever, because when I saw the bear, I'm the worst camera person ever because when I saw the bear, I freaked out. And then I went to get the whistle out of the bag. I was like, I have a whistle in my bag, because we were screaming at the bear and it wouldn't go away. And the lady's like, get the whistle. So then I got the whistle and I freaking ruined the shot. So we were hiking and it's like a very narrow trail, and some lady turns around and she's coming towards me and she's like, turn around, walk fast, don't run. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, there's a bear coming. I'm like, right now it's coming towards you? And she's like, yeah, it's coming towards us on the trail. Do you have bear spray? Because she didn't have anything. We're like, yeah, we have bear spray. Jordan had bear spray. I had a knife. Not that I'm going to use it, because like, what am I going to do against a bear? So Jordan goes in the front and he has the bear spray like ready just in case. And then we're all like, the 3 of us being like, hey bear, like trying to get it to go away. I felt like I was on an episode of Naked and Afraid. And it wouldn't go away. It was literally just walking towards Jordan like if it was a dog who wanted to get pet or something. So I had to get the whistle out of my bag, and while I was doing that, I kind of missed the part where it was closest to Jordan. And then when I blew the whistle and Jordan like kind of walked towards it, it went up into a tree, and then we were able to pass. So he was holding the bear spray like this while we were passing.
Later, Liz admitted that she felt as though she had stepped into a survival show, calling it one of the most frightening moments of their lives. Even Jordan, who had remained composed throughout, described the standoff as both exciting and terrifying. Afterward, they tried to calm their nerves with a swim in Jenny Lake, but the tension remained. Liz even reported feeling faint and dizzy, likely from a mix of adrenaline heat and cold shock. She recovered quickly, and both reflected on how important the bear spray whistle and staying level-headed had been in keeping them safe. They ended the day shaken yet unharmed, reminded of the raw power that nature holds. Encounters like this highlight just how unpredictable wildlife behavior can be. The bear showed no aggression, but its steady advance was enough to test anyone's composure. Having the right tools and knowing how to use them likely made all the difference. What would you have done in their place? Stand firm with spray ready, or retreat and risk provoking the animal? Uploaded in 2024, this account comes from Cora and the Explorer, a channel run by Keith and his golden doodle Cora. This time, their wild camping trip brought them into the Dungeon Gill area of England's Lake District, with plans to pitch camp near Harrison Pike. From the beginning, the conditions were unstable. Strong winds were already pushing through the valley, setting the tone for what would become one of Keith's most difficult nights outdoors.
Hello and welcome to K&C Outdoors. I'm Keith and this here is Cora, my golden doodle. I think she's classed as a miniature one. So we're out today in the Lake District, in my most favourite part of the world. And actually the most favourite part of the Lake District as well, which is Dungeon Gill. And we're going to be making our way up to Harrison Pike for a wild camp tonight, and we'll have a good time. But it's been quite damp today, which isn't a bad thing really, because I'm trying out some new gear. Sorry, I had a Paranormal Velez smock a year or two ago, and I didn't get on with it at all. It leaked a lot through the zips and I wasn't best pleased. But recently I've tried out this Velez jacket and it's been really good. There's a review on my channel, I'll pop a link somewhere. But today, I don't know if I can show you properly from here, I'm trying out these Paranormal Velez Cascader waterproof trousers. So we'll see how they go, and I'll pop a separate review on anyway, because this trip isn't about reviews, it's about the beautiful Lake District, a really nice walk and a wild camp. So I'm going to crack on.
At first, the journey seemed manageable. Keith had packed new waterproof gear and it quickly proved necessary. As they climbed, runoff from the hills turned the trail into slick, fast-moving streams.
So where we've just crossed here, and normally it's really straightforward, just stepping across a couple of rocks, but today it was really treacherous. Cora, I had to put a lead on her, which was a good job, because Jessie nearly went taken by the water, pulled her back as she slipped.
At one crossing, water levels rose high enough that Cora nearly lost her footing, a moment that showed just how dangerous the situation had become. Higher up, thick fog moved in cutting visibility down to only a few feet. The once beautiful landscape shifted into a gray, wet, and hostile setting. When it came time to camp, finding shelter became nearly impossible. Every spot was either too exposed to the heavy wind or soaked through with water. With daylight fading, Keith finally chose a sloped patch of ground just below the summit, uneven and far from ideal. The tent went up as the weather worsened. By nightfall, winds tore across the ridges, striking the thin fabric, bending poles and pushing the structure to its limits.
Oh, the wind's really getting up now. Really a bit concerned. I have no idea how strong they are, but it's really strong. The tent's getting battered. But I'm double poled and I've got delta pegs in, so at least delta pegs in the in the parts that need to be held well. So hopefully it'll hold up well through the night. These little moments of calm, and then the gusts just start in again. So I've just put my little wind meter out. I don't know if it's showing, but there you go. It's showing at the highest with the gusts 70 miles an hour. But as I say, the double pole, it seems okay. But I'm certainly aware that we might have to bail if it gets any worse. Don't want to, we're quite high up and it's a long way down. We'll see how the night takes us anyway. But for now, see you soon. Genuinely got me a bit worried now. The wind's unbelievably strong. I'm hoping we don't have to bail because it's a long way down to Langdale. But this is the most worried I've ever been camping. It really is gusting strong now. I'll keep it up to date as we go along, but now it's a worry now, it really is. The weather's still horrendous, it's 5 AM.
Gusts reached hurricane force over 70 miles per hour, making rest impossible. What followed was a night of pure endurance rather than comfort. As Keith later admitted, it was the most worried he had ever been while camping. By morning, the storm eased slightly, but the damage had been done. The tent was battered, The ground soaked and Keith was exhausted after hours of relentless wind. Packing up in the cold, wet dawn, he reflected on how close the night had come to forcing him to abandon the mountain altogether. Although he had camped in poor weather before, the exposed location and violent gusts made this one of the most extreme experiences he had ever recorded. Wild camping often depends on preparation, but nature does not always allow control. Even with reinforced poles and specialized gear, conditions like these can turn the experience from recreation into survival. It raises the question of where the line should be drawn between pushing forward and knowing when to turn back. If faced with the same storm on an exposed ridge, would you stay and endure it like Keith, or pack up and risk the long descent in the dark? Sophie runs the YouTube channel Sophie Dossi, where she captures extreme challenges in unusual settings that test both her physical flexibility and mental limits. While her videos often feature acrobatics and risky stunts, some of her most intense moments take place in confined caves, shifting terrain, and underground routes that become tighter the farther someone goes. On April 20th, 2024, Sophie entered a deep cave network with two skilled guides, James and Edward. Their goal was demanding descend thousands of feet below ground and reach a hidden crystal chamber believed to have been seen by only a few explorers. But getting there meant passing through cave sections where the human body could barely squeeze between the rock.
Ugh. I feel like the boogeyman's down here.
My friend almost broke her knee there. Her knee fell into the little thing that you're standing on.
By the way, there was a tornado warning last night, so there was a big storm, which is wet.
Honestly, yeah, 90% of this cave might be underwater. We might not be able to go to the waterfall. We'll see. If it's only a little bit flooded, we're going. This is where it's gonna get tight.
The start of really squeezing your way in.
You don't want to go that way.
Why don't you want to go that way?
That way's nothing but misery.
Wait, why?
Look how bad it looks.
The descent started carefully as they moved through a narrow entrance that quickly forced them into low passages. Knowing a tornado warning had been issued the night before, they understood that conditions above ground could directly impact what lay below. Rainfall can turn tight tunnels into dangerous choke points where water gathers with no escape. In extreme situations, entire passages can flood without notice. Even with the uncertainty ahead, the team decided to continue deeper.
Oh yeah, it's pretty tight.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. This is a really low part. Even my head doesn't fit right here. Like my helmet's literally stopping me. Oh my gosh. You guys do this for fun?
Kinda. This is definitely the hardest part.
So not this one that I'm on?
No, it's getting harder right here. It's gonna get a little muddy.
Yeah, already very muddy.
This next part is about a 20-foot drop. So if I slip, they're gonna have to call cave rescue.
So easy. Like that was the easiest thing I've ever done.
The first major challenge was a well-known squeeze called the pancake squeeze. This section requires explorers to flatten themselves against the rock and push forward through a gap so low that even a helmet can get stuck against the ceiling. Past that point, the cave angled downward into deeper chambers where the environment became more unstable. Mud coated the ground and walls, making simple steps slippery and unreliable. Focused on reaching their target, she kept moving, prepared for whatever might come next. After hours underground,
One more thing we need to do before we leave, and it's called the pulverizer.
It's a crack about this big, and it goes down like 10 or 15 feet vertically. Do what this rock is gonna do. Just drop down like 15 feet, straight down, but it's gonna be really tight. Yeah, that's not good.
Oh my god. Okay, I see. Wow. Oh, so you gotta squeeze. Oh my god, how do you squeeze through this? How does one's head go through? Oh my god, my head just went through it. That's crazy.
I know, my helmet went through it.
Oh my god. This is insane. Did you go feet first?
Yeah. Yeah, because there was mud there.
Oh my god.
We did it!
That was the best part, though.
Yeah!
Oh my god. Look at me.
The tunnel eventually opened into the place they had been searching for, a hidden chamber lined with fragile cave crystals. The crystal room marked one of the deepest accessible areas in the system. Along the route, the team also encountered a very narrow vertical crack known as the pulverizer. Covered in mud and worn out from the demanding trip, they managed to reach one of the cave's deepest accessible chambers before later making their way back to the surface safely. Sophie's cave expedition ended without injury. For her and the team, preparation, experience, and careful choices made it possible to reach one of the deepest reachable points and return safely. But the journey also shows how unforgiving underground environments can be. In places like this, the real challenge is not just getting there, it is making sure you can still find your way out. Everything worked out this time, but in environments like that, even small changes can shift. This camping incident comes from the YouTube channel Abandoned World Explorer, recognized for late-night expeditions in remote areas linked to unsettling stories and abandoned sites. On June 20th, 2021, Lee and his group set out to complete random location challenges, unaware that one selection would lead them somewhere they should not have gone.
Just a minute. Huh? What's that, the woods?
Yeah, I don't normally go down that bit.
Guys, it's 6 minutes. 6 minutes away, it's not even that far. Yeah, let's go. Mate, how creepy it is up here, bro. It's dark, eh? The footpath's still showing. Up there with that. Pin's up there, bro. I was thinking like saying creepy, bro. Like spooky vibes.
As the night went on, their randomly chosen destination guided them deeper into a forested area far from public access and increasingly hard to navigate. The setting felt off from the beginning. The path ahead was tight, overgrown, and isolated with no clear sign of where it might lead. Despite their uncertainty, they kept moving forward, driven by curiosity and the expectation that the location would reveal something unusual.
What's that? Is that a house? Hey boys, there's like a structure. There's like a structure over there that was there. You know, it's there. I'm going up there. I don't know. There's someone over there. No, there ain't. There's a fire, bro. No, it says keep up. Someone's living here, bro. There's no one here. There's no one here. Oh my god. Bro, what is that? It's a door. Mate, what is this? Someone's been living here, man. There's a Ouija board.
Maybe we should be here, guys.
There's food, man, and everything. What's all this about? There's someone. What's that? Oh, what? This is a wind-up, man. Is that our love will never die?
They soon encountered something entirely unexpected, a makeshift structure hidden among the trees. Around it were clear signs of recent human presence, food, various items, and most notably, a Ouija board placed among the scattered debris. The discovery immediately changed the tone of the exploration. This was no longer just an empty stretch of forest. Someone had been there, or possibly still was.
It's in the trees. Go down on the trees, there's all masks. There's someone down there, man. Quick, go over it, go. Go. There's someone there. Turn the light off, turn the light off. There's someone over there. Seriously, boys, don't fucking move. Oh shit, see, someone told you someone there. Shit, ring the police. We need to ring the bell and we're gonna get out of here. Can't do that.
From beyond the structure, a figure appeared, briefly visible at a distance, partially concealed and watching. The figure did not approach immediately, yet its presence alone was enough to create panic. As they tried to make sense of what they were seeing, more movement followed, confirming they were not alone in the area.
Boys, we need to get out of here now. We can't even fucking move. I'm not even joking, boys. Bring the police. Shit myself. What is he doing, man? He's going to burn. I don't know. How do we even get out?
The situation escalated quickly. The figure's behavior became more unpredictable, shifting positions within the darkness while staying just out of clear sight. With no understanding of its intent and no safe way to identify who or what they were dealing with, the group decided to retreat.
Wait, I can't see. Go! I can't see! Go! Go! We didn't even ring the police. Go! Joe, ring the police! No, fucking just go. Right, ring the police. Go.
As they attempted to leave, the feeling of being followed grew stronger. The darkness combined with limited visibility and unfamiliar terrain made navigation difficult. The distance back to safety felt longer than expected, and the possibility of confrontation remained behind them the entire time. The presence they encountered did not act like someone simply passing through. It stayed hidden, observant, and deliberately out of reach, suggesting awareness and intent. In the end, they left without a direct encounter. Sometimes the most disturbing camping experiences are not in abandoned places, but in those that are not as empty as they seem. So if you were there, would you keep going or turn back? On November 2nd, 2025, Groovy Gavin, the YouTuber known for chasing real-life horror and unexplained mysteries, drove to Black River Road near Curry, North Carolina. This quiet stretch of highway was the site of one of the strangest 911 calls ever recorded. A terrified man claiming something not human had leapt onto his truck. Gavin's channel, dedicated to exploring cryptids, hauntings, and true paranormal encounters, set out to retrace every step of that night.
But before we talk to all of those people and try to figure out what's going on here, we first need to go over the entire call. So the spot we're driving to right now, this is where he first sees something weird before he even makes the call. This is the reason he's making the call.
County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
I'm driving on 210. I just crossed the Black River, and I thought I saw a guy standing on the side of the road bleeding.
I'm trying to put myself in his shoes right now. If we're driving on a road, middle of nowhere, it is pitch black, like he was not kidding about that. I don't think I would stop if I saw a bloody man.
Yeah, we're stopped like, right now. Yeah, we're stopped right now looking for a bloody man.
We're some idiots, bro. Yeah. Okay, let's get out the car. Okay, this is where he first saw the figure. This is not even on call. He wants to stay completely anonymous, but he was formerly in the military. I feel like for someone like that to make this call, you have to be very, very sure. In case we find evidence, dude. Anything here? Okay, but this is like just his first sighting. This is honestly probably the least creepy part of the call. So we're gonna keep driving along his route. Okay, that's where he saw the thing. And then he makes the call. There's Patriots Watch. He mentions that.
I just passed Patriots Watch.
You saw a man standing on the side of the road?
Yes, ma'am, and it looked like he was bleeding because when I drove by, I had my high beams on, and all I could see was just some streaks of red going down his body, starting at his head.
Then you hear on the call, right here, right after he passes those.
What the?
What was that, sir?
That's not human! That's not human!
Sir, are you okay, sir?
The 911 recording begins with panic. A man identified only as T tells the dispatcher he's seen someone standing on the roadside bleeding. Then comes a deafening crash. His voice rises into pure terror. That's not human. Following the same path, Gavin drives along the dark 2-lane road near the Black River Bridge. He stops where the first sighting occurred, the place where T saw the figure. Minutes later, he reaches the spot where the loud impact was heard on the recording. The sound, even replayed through a phone, still carries weight like something heavy hitting metal at 50 miles an hour. At a nearby police station, a sergeant confirms the call was real. Officers were dispatched, but official records described the scratches on the truck as consistent with tree branches.
the 911 call that was made, I believe here, from Curry, that was basically the creature jumping on the back of the guy's car. And I, just wanted to see if that was like a legitimate thing that happened or if that was just a rumor. And then
no, it was the call came in.
Yeah.
To our 911 center. Yeah,
okay, so it was a real.
It was a real call.
Okay,
it's nothing like it was made up. It was
okay. Do you know if there's any like, I guess, public information on that? Like, I don't know if there'd be any photos or anything.
It's nothing like any photos or anything. I know that the officers went out there, responded to the call like any other thing.
Yeah.
But as far as pictures taken or anything like that, no.
Is there anybody that went there on the call that?
Not that I'm aware of. So I would have to check to see who responded. Actually, if it's anyone who you would contact, it would be State Highway Patrol because they did they did the investigation.
You know the best way to reach out to them.
Well, we know the call was real. It's a great thing he was able to make the call. Imagine if he didn't have service or he had bad service. That would have sucked.
Yet the distress in T's voice didn't sound like a man mistaking a branch for a monster. Gavin meets Rusty, the only person who's ever interviewed the caller. Rusty recalls T shaking pale, repeating that the thing was tall, at least 7 feet, and fast. He lost the phone that held his photos, but Rusty insists the fear was genuine. Several locals, even law enforcement, have since reported strange noises and shapes moving through those same woods. That night, Gavin returns to the road. The woods are silent except for a rhythmic metallic clanging echoing from somewhere underground. The sound repeats, distant yet deliberate. No animals, no movement, just the hollow ringing of something unseen. The video ends without resolution. The 911 call was real. The panic was real. But the truth still hiding somewhere between the trees. Viewers flooded the comments with theories, some convinced it was a skinwalker or Wendigo, others certain it was a spirit from Moores Creek battlefield. Many pointed out the weight of that metallic thud, saying no animal could hit a moving truck like that. Some even lived nearby and swore the area feels wrong. The police dismissed it as tree damage, but the voice screaming, "That's not human," still echoes across the internet. If that night wasn't a hoax and if what he saw wasn't an animal, then what exactly was running beside his truck? On October 17th, 2025, the channel Live 2-Day Wonderland, recognized for its peaceful Midwest camping trips and cinematic-style storytelling, released a new episode filmed deep within Superior National Forest, Minnesota, near the Boundary Waters. What started as the ideal fall getaway, warm golden light, still waters, and the soothing crackle of a campfire would soon shift into something entirely different. They described it as the perfect campsite, until it wasn't. The video begins with sunlight filtering through the trees as the couple and their dog Lou arrive at what appears to be a perfect location, a wide lakeside clearing tucked away in the forest. They set up camp clearly excited. The tent is placed beneath tall pines with the water just steps away. Dinner cooks on cast iron crispy pork sandwiches with melted cheese and soft onion buns. As night sets in, everything feels right. Firelight flickers while conversation quiets.
That sandwich was amazing, so we're just gonna relax. We may try to put on a YouTube video. Got a lot of exploring to do tomorrow with you guys. We're gonna check out some stuff up here. Boundary Waters area is always amazing. Gunflint Trail. Maybe we can get see a moose and try to find some of the colors. The colors are not as profound here as they were by Sylvania in the UP. But at Lutsen Mountain is pretty bright, so we'll go over there. But anyways, cheers, you guys. We'll see you in the morning.
Cheers.
They mentioned plans to explore the Gunflint Trail the next day, possibly spotting moose near the shoreline. But something in the atmosphere begins to shift. Morning comes cool and still. They make coffee, prepare a spicy apple pie, and watch Lou run after leaves drifting through the mist. Still, small details feel off. The forest seems louder, squirrels moving boldly through camp, chipmunks running into the tent, their behavior frantic and unusually fearless. Later that day, the couple leaves briefly for the nearby town of Grand Marais donut supplies and the simple comfort of small-town life. But when the video returns, the tone has changed. The once perfect campsite now feels empty. The narrator notes they are packing up earlier than expected suddenly. No explanation is given, only the quiet sound of gear being loaded into the truck. The screen fades out, and nothing else follows. Viewers were left confused. Some questioned whether wildlife or possibly another person caused them to leave. Others joked about bears or insects. A few pointed out how uneasy the final moments felt, as if more could have been said but wasn't. The next video only added to the mystery. They never explained why they left. No damaged equipment, no bad weather, no danger mentioned. Just a calm tone saying it was time to go. Maybe it was nothing. Or maybe some places in the wilderness feel perfect until you stay long enough to understand why they are empty.